little size comparison. I just want you guys to understand the scale difference. I'm not sure if it's showing it through the video, but the UDR is much smaller. Than the Super Baja Rey 2.0. In height, in length, the wheel difference, but like I said, the back of this does not flex. It has a little movement, but it's real rigid in the back for back landings. So, and then there is the Super Baja Rey 2.0 without the tires in it, which I think looks silly, not having all that empty space back there. It just doesn't look right. So to run it without it, I don't know. I might try running it without it, but I really want to start working on a fix rather than just take out the tires. That's not a solution for me, to buy a $1,000 RC and then remove the tires so that I can run the RC without breaking it. That's just not an option. Not for me anyway. But it could be for some people out there. You know, put the tires on for decoration, and then when you run it, take off the stuff that makes it look scale. But I have a feeling the tires back there really help balance out the truck. So it just has to be more rigid in the back. But there we go. That's the size difference between the UDR, Traxxas UDR Box Edition versus the King Edition Super Baja Rey 2.0. There we go, guys. All right, welcome back. So I did the video on taking off this body yesterday, and a lot of people, I mean a lot of people, commented and watched it, and I want to thank everybody very much. We do have a lot of new subscribers to the channel, and I want to thank you guys for that as well. We are almost at 5,000 subscribers on this channel, which is truly amazing. So what I'm doing right now is I'm going to temporarily attach the body to the Super Baja Rey 2.0, and then I want to do a size comparison between this and the UDR, because a lot of people are making comments about the UDR. So I'm going to put in just the 4 main screws on this body. It's easier to line this up upside down to put the body back on. So I think the way I took off this body is a pretty easy way of doing it. I really got to clean this RC. So, first thing I want to talk about is some people said the flex of the UDR is the same, and it's 100% not the same with the 2 tires mounted on the back of a UDR. Here's the UDR. Turn on the camera so I can see it. There's the UDR bracing. Now there is slight movement, but it's nothing like the Super Baja Rey. So, but you can see how small the UDR is compared to the Baja Rey. It's really a pretty big distance as far as, or size distance, I should say. So definitely the Super Baja Rey by Losi is way bigger, but the quality of everything, with taking off these spare tires, because you can use the same wrench that you use on your wheels to remove these tires. Now these people have asked, how do you get the tires off? And the way you remove them is 1, 2, 3, 4 bolts, and this will lift out. So I'm going to pop out some tires because a subscriber had asked, even though he was told how to remove it, he asked if I can remove one. And it's easy enough, but you got to have a driver. So it's going to be 4 bolts to get one of these tires out, and it's 4 on each. 4 bolts on each tire to lift this thing out. Now I've never removed one, but that's how it comes out. So it looks like this bracket pops off. It does have a pin, and then it looks like it pulls out. Well, at least it looks that way because there's a hex on this side, so it should just push out the bracket, and that's how you get the tire out. Now it is a pretty firm fit to get the tire in and out. And then make sure, because these do come out, that you have them face the same way. Put the pin back in and your tire will drop back in. So, and that will have to be done on both tires to remove them. Which, if you're out in the field and you need to swap out a tire, hopefully you have your drivers with you, because it's not as simple as taking your wheel wrench and removing this spare tire. Usually when I go out, I just bring the wheel wrench. I usually don't bring drivers. I do have a bag when I'm testing that I'll take out, but yeah, that's how the wheels come out. So, and then I gotta find my measuring tape. So, but that's everything out. But even with this out, you can see that there's still a lot of flex back here, but there's no weight of the tire now. So, but if you land on this, it's still gonna cause a flex issue right there. Now, running a bar across where I wanted to run a bar across, it will get in the way of the links, and I think that's why they don't have a bar there. But somebody suggested putting carbon fiber down in each corner, and I think that would be the best way. I'm going to try to get a hold of Basher Queen and see if she can cut me 4 pieces of carbon fiber that I can clamp in to each side, and I think that'll be strong enough. Just adding 4 squares of carbon fiber, 2 here and 2 there, I think will be strong enough to support that. So I cannot add a bar across because it will hit the rear diff and the link. And I'll bring you guys down to show you that. So right in here there's the corner, and there's the corner that's flexing. And when this thing bottoms out, you can see that the upper links exceed where I wanted to put that bar across, and that's why Losi didn't put a bar across on that cage. So I know why they didn't run a bar across there like they did in the top, but they could have ran a bar from the corner there to the cage here, from the cage here to the corner there, and that would have given some support, or boxed it in. Boxed that in on this side and boxed it in on this side, just running it straight across. Even if they had to put a drop down bar and something over, something needs to go to this bottom corner right there. So we're still going to work on that. I'm going to try to get a hold of Basha Queen. I know she's cutting some carbon fiber for some shock mounts, so hopefully I can get in touch with her and she can cut up some carbon fiber there. If not, I've never cut carbon fiber, but I'll buy a sheet and try. Can't be that hard. If not, I'll cut it out of aluminum. I prefer to use carbon fiber because it's strong up until the point where it'll shatter, which I think will be good here on a hard impact. At least it'll give rather than breaking something, where aluminum will rip the plastic. So aluminum's not going to give. Well, it turned off again, and I don't know why. But here's the measurement of the tire. So it looks like it's 6 inches tall. I would say 6 1/4 inches tall. And 2 1/8. 2 1/4 or 2 1/8 inches wide. So whoever was asking for measurements out there, that's what it is. Let me run it this way so you can get it on camera. But there you go, to that knobby right there. You guys can see it. Looks like 6 1/4 to me. So that's how tall and wide the tire is. Hopefully that helps the guy asking about the Baja Rey, because he was asking about that. The 2.0 tire size, which is definitely, compared to the Rock Ray, here's the Rock Ray tire, and you can see the Rock Ray tire is definitely bigger. So I've got it lined up on this side, and you can see how much bigger it is. So the Rock Ray tires are definitely bigger. But there we go. So I do like my UDR. It has the same rollover characteristics as the Super Baja Rey 2.0. You can see the tire difference. They're way bigger on the Losi. The scale is just overall bigger. Let's see. You can tell how much bigger the tire is. You'd have to trim the body a lot to get this tire on the UDR. But there we go, guys. There's what it looks like compared to the UDR. So it's just, the Super Baja Rey is massive compared to the UDR. Let's get the front ends lined up. And you can see the overhang. So it's truly a lot bigger. But the UDR, I do have the light kit, which I like the double light bar with the bumpers that cover it top and bottom, so I'm not smashing it. As you see, the light bar still got the cover on it. This one, because it's only got the single bar covering the light bar, when I hit, you can see that this plastic is already bowing, the light cover for the front bumper light. It's already bowing and getting loose. I'm afraid it's going to crack and come off. I know that this has already popped out a couple of times, and this keeps pulling out the center bolt hole. So if you land on the front, where I've landed on the front of this as well, but having the double bars, it really protects it. Now on this light bar, Traxxas puts it way underneath the body. As you see, this light bar is way protected by the front of this. So if you bottom out, it literally covers the light bar and protects it so this light bar doesn't break. This light bar is out in the open, and I catch myself grabbing this thing right here and lifting up, and I can feel the light bar flexing and coming out. Same with the rear. It's hanging off the back, where Traxxas, the rear is flush. So just something to make note. Also, if you land up on your roof and you scrape, you're basically grinding down these bolts and these washers on the roof here. The UDR doesn't have that. You know, it'd be nice if this had some sliders on the roof. Maybe I'll throw some Losi sliders on it. But these bolts are definitely gonna grind down if you're grinding on the roof. But as you see, we bashed it. It rolls over and just rolls back onto its wheels. But I have noticed that the decals everywhere literally are coming up on this RC. You can see how bad the decal is on this corner, definitely in these cracks right in here. The decals start to come up. This is an outside wrap. You can see the big gap right there on the decal. So this one's really coming out, and it's bubbling right here pretty good. So I do like the King decals, but they're literally coming apart. And it was doing that out of the box. Where Traxxas, I'm not having a problem with their decals. My UDR at this point is quite old. There's no flex cracks, nothing. And, you know, I've crashed this quite a few times, and I've showed people how I sanded down the body and got rid of all the scratches that were in these corners with, in here, all with rubbing compound. That's how I kept this clean. It's really dirty right now. But the RC is not scratched anymore because I was able to sand the Lexan and get it all off of there. Where this one, I don't know if that's going to be possible. but definitely eating up some of the decals. But there we go. Hopefully that helps everybody that had questions out there. We're gonna get to working on the repair to this Losi, and we will see you guys on my next video. Let me know if you guys want me to run the UDR and the new Super Baja Rey at the same time or the same video. And I can do the same with the Rock Ray. Run the Rock Ray along with the Baja Ray, since they are so similar. So I know a couple people had said, yes, pull the body off of the Super Rock Ray. But it was like 2 out of, I want to say, 100 people said pull the body off of that. A lot of people agree that it is the same platform as the Super Baja Rey, and that Losi states that. But they also state that this is wider, and it's not. They say it's 1 inch longer on the chassis, but the chassis are the same size. They didn't stretch the chassis. All they did was stretch the body and the roll cage. So to call it a chassis stretch, I mean, the roll cage is not a chassis. You saw I popped off the body. The chassis is not any longer than the Super Rock Ray. So I don't know what that's about. You know, even though it, you know, Losi had put it out there that they used, you know, some of the parts off the Super Rock Ray, they just stretched it. It's really not stretched. They just added a longer roll cage, and that now that's where we're having an issue. But there we go, guys. I will see you guys on my next video. Thanks for watching. Let me know if you want the UDR and Super Rock Ray and Super Baja Rey, which ones you want in the next video, running against the King Shock Super Baja Rey 2.0. Thanks for watching, guys.